What was that, Mac? Yeah. Okay. So what we're going to do is switch statements, obviously. So I want you to import your scanner because we're going to use our scanner for what we're doing today because we're going to take in data from the user. So we're going to need a int variable for this. What we're going to do basically is we're just going to write a program that takes in an integer from the user and then tells them what month it is. Okay, what month that integer represents. Okay, so we need a int month, like so. Okay, then we need a string to hold our month names. So we're going to need a string variable. So I'm going to go like that, and then I'm going to call it month string. Just name it something that makes sense to you. Okay, so month string here. Then we need to initialize our scanner. So we're going to go scanner. I use reader. Then we're going to take it from the system input. System.in. Boom. Now we have our scanner. So all the stuff that we need basically is taken care of. Okay. If you look from a pseudocode perspective, what's the very first thing? If we're going to take a month integer in from a user, and then we're going to do some manipulation with it, what's the first thing that we're doing there? Yeah, we need to get the value from the user. So the first thing is let's ask the user for a value. System.out.println. We're going to go here, go enter the number of a month, like so. And since formatting is important to me, I'm going to just do a colon and then a space. That way it's there. Okay, and then we're going to go month equals reader dot next int. Boom, like so. Okay, so we have month equals reader dot next int. So now we have asked the user for a number. We have read that number in, and now we are ready to do our data manipulation. So here is where we get to the fun stuff as far as what we're going to go over today. Okay, we are going to go like this. So a switch statement, remarkably enough, is called switch. Stunning, I know. Absolutely blown away. Okay, switch. But so then with a switch statement, the thing that comes next, right? Think about, this is a more powerful version of an if statement. Our if statement, what do we do next? With our if statement, what was the next thing? Yeah, it's our condition, right? Okay, so this is similar. So switch has a condition, except for we don't actually check the condition. We just list the variable that we're going to do the pivoting around, right? So in this case, we're going to do month, like that. Because month is what we are checking, and then we need our curly brackets, boom, like that. So now everything inside of the curly brackets is going to be part of our switch statement. Okay, now, with each thing that we do, we have to have something called a, think about your opening question for today. A case, right? So switch case, so we're just going to go case, like that. And then we're going to do 1. And then a colon. Okay, I want you guys to understand something here. This is the literal value of this variable, right? So 1 is the literal value of the variable. If there is literally a 1 stored in the month variable, I want you to do what comes after the colon, right? Because this isn't just in order. It just happens to be that what we're going to type in today is in numerical order. It doesn't have to be. If this was a computer, what would this actually be instead of a 1? A 0, right? So this is not a linear thing. This just happens to be that the thing we're checking is linear, okay? So if we go case 1, we're going to go month, string, like that, equals, double quote, January. Like that, okay? And then we go with semicolon at the end. Okay, now this is very important. Case 1, break. We're going to come back to why this is important in just a minute, but just know that for now, each case that requires a break statement within the case. Now, what we're doing right here is we're just simply storing a value in this variable, correct? You guys are all good with that? We're storing this January value, which is a string, and we're going to store it in a string variable, and we're good. That's it. However, if I wanted to run a whole page and a half of code inside of this case statement, I totally can. All I have to do is just do it right here, okay, after that case. Okay, so now we're going to go case 2, like that. We're going to go month string equals Feb. February. And then just like our first one, we're going to go break. Like that. Right? We're okay with that to this point? Okay. Not too tough. We're going to need to fill that out for each month. But since I'm cheater pants, I'm just going to copy it. And then I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I have 5 of those. We have an error here, right? Why? Yeah, because it's like, look, yo, moron, I already checked for case 1. Don't do that. So if I go case 3, and then instead of February, we're going to go with the glorious month of March, which is when I start riding my motorcycle. We like March. And we're going to go April. Even better, as long as it doesn't rain. Then May. June. And then July. Remarkably, these months are actually lining up with the numerical value for that month. I know it's stunning, right? I accidentally deleted my second quote. September. October. Wait, say that again, Mac. A little bit. So if you think of a switch case being similar to chaining a whole bunch of if statements together, what the break does is, and the break is going to be a very valuable tool for you, among other things, once I explain it to you. Okay, so what happens? Let's say month is worth 1. Let's say the user inserts 1. We evaluate case 1, right? And how does this return? True or false? True, because month is 1. So if month is 1, that's what we're saying right here, do this. Okay, so if I don't, the break then says, hey, I want you to break the rest of this conditional statement, right? So it says, skip to the end. If it didn't do this, what it would do, it would have to evaluate case 2, and then case 3, and then case 4, and then case 5, except for with a case statement, it can only have a single value, right? So what's the point of evaluating all of these? Is there a reason? It doesn't seem like a big deal with this particular program, but what if you had 100,000 cases that it could possibly be? Would you want the computer evaluating all 100,000 when you were right on the first guess? No. Right. So the break makes it skip everything else. Here's where breaks are really cool. In a while loop, you can also use a break to break a looping structure. So if you have a while loop that you need to break out in the middle, you can just use break. It's awesome. Okay? It's great. You can break out of anything that is a conditional statement. Okay. So now we have this. We're good, right? Oh yeah. We have to do our output, right? Okay. So we're going to come here. After our switch statement, right? So we want to be outside of it. We're going to go system dot out dot print. We're going to go with a line this time. We're going to say you entered, and then we're going to put a space right there, and then we're going to concatenate the numerical value of the month they typed in. So we're going to go month right there. And then we're going to concatenate. Remember, concatenate on a string just means that we're going to continue it, right? Your month is, and then we're going to concatenate month string on the end, right? Okay, this is pretty awesome, except for we have an error. That's not good. The error is variable might not have been initialized. What does that mean, guys? It's stupid. Okay, so if you remember with our other programs that we've had, when we use a variable only inside of a conditional statement, is there a chance that variable's not going to be used? Yes. And the compiler doesn't like that. So what we need to do is we need to initialize it as a value. Classically, when we have initialized a value, what have we done? Can we do that? No. What if I did this? Can I do that? Yes. That is bad form, however. Don't initialize strings like that. So strings, since they're a non-primitive data type, we can initialize like this. Null. What does that actually do? Well, I thought having variables with a null value was a bad thing. With integers, it is. With regular data types, with primitive data types, them being null is a bad thing. For strings, which is a non-primitive data type, it's not necessarily a bad thing anymore. Okay? So we're going to initialize it as null. So now our error should have gone away, and magically it did. Okay, so if I run this, run file, where did my output end up? Output right there. Oh, I put it in a new window. We will take that. Let's stick the output window in with this one. Okay, enter the number of the month. We're going to go with the best month, 6. Okay, you entered 6. Your month is June. Are we okay with that? Yeah, that works just fine. If I run it again, enter the number of month. Let's go 2. That month is February. That's good. This looks like we're okay. What if I go enter the number of month and happen to type 15? You enter 15 and your month is null. Is that a problem? Yeah, that's an issue. So, switch statements give us a workaround for the user being a moron. Because, quite frankly, that's what it is, right? Aren't we catching user errors at this point? Because they should know. So we're going to go with instead of a case, this one, we're going to go with default. So we're going to say the default case. If you get to this point and no case has been true to this section, then this is what you're going to do. Okay, so in the case of default, we're going to go month string equals, and we're going to say You should enter a real month, ... you putts, ... That works. Okay. And because it's a switch case statement, we have to actually include a break. Why do we include a break on a default? It's already over. Well, because it requires it. So we're just going to do it. Okay, now if I go back to my output and I run my program and I type 15, it should insult me. Yay! I feel so insulted. Okay, so what we've done here is we have accounted for user error. However, if we did it again, what if the user goes potato? We still have an issue, right? I don't want to necessarily solve this error right now. We'll talk about what to do with this kind of thing later. But for now, understand that even the best of error checking can't account for everything stupid the user will do, because the user is going to do some just bat crap dumb stuff. Okay, you can never account for everything stupid the user is going to try and do, I promise. But we need to still do something, right? We need to account for the most common things. Okay, are you guys good on this? Does this make sense? Do you guys see how with your choose your own adventure this might have been helpful if you wanted more than one option for each question? Yeah, this might have been a cool thing to use for your choose your own adventure. But this is again where we go back to what order do I teach you things. It gets difficult. Okay, so we have this. You have the simple version of how to do a conditional statement. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that awesome stuff. No adult content. Like and subscribe and have fun learning how to write Java. Yay! There we go. Later.